Ta-da! Hi, you guys. Is there anybody out there? Can you guys hear me okay? I've been fooling around with gear and computers and programs and bots and dear friends and basically the universe all day. How about you guys? How are you? Welcome to I Love Ruthie. I obviously would be Ruthie. And tonight is Top Hat Thursday. And you say, well, Ruthie, where on earth is your top hat? And I have the same question for you. What did you guys do with my top hat? Heavens to Murgatroyd. Wait 1 second. We will just hang for a moment. Okay, we're going back to the... here, tell you what. Let's go to the critter cam for a second. Whoopsie-daisy. Whoopsie-daisy. The critter cam goes black. And you can hear me, and now you can see the critter cam's view of things, which is, of course, a view of empty cages, because tonight we are, among many other things, holding Clover's, the mighty, tiny wild Clover. Tiny wild Clover P.S. We are holding his wake. And we are celebrating the tiny tonight here at I Love Ruthie. That's our theme this month, is tiny but mighty. That's our theme this month of July at I Love Ruthie. Okay, so I'm going to find, and you'll be able to see me, maybe on the critter cam, I'm going to find the top hat. Where could it have gone? I think it's somewhere it shouldn't be. Okay, you guys, it's true. Dun, 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 dun. Here we are, banging around in the ceremonial ancestor. Maybe I'll just peek in and say hi. Hi, you guys. Welcome to the critter cam. Alrighty. And we're back. Welcome to I Love Ruthie. How is everybody doing today? Our theme this month of July is tiny but mighty. And we are continuing to feature Justine Vandergrift as our featured artist of the 2 months. Apparently, we're going 2 months with the featured artist because I really just didn't have nearly enough time to, to introduce her or talk about her or anything this last month. So a month is a month is a month is a month, and that's how life goes. You just go whooshing by, and there you are. Okay, guys, do let me know if you can see me. Hey, Gumby! Good to see you. Hello. Oh, you guys, I have so much gratitude for 11 Gumby 11, who is really just known as Gumby. Those are like quotes. Gumby. That's Gumby. He has been the guy who's been teching on all of this stuff, along with Stu Loud, who you may see on here as well occasionally. Anyway, so much gratitude to these lads, especially Gumby at this point, because he has been with me at my side, getting me up and running on all kinds of things, like, if you look above my head right here, I have a song list. A streamer song list thing on my thing. No, it's called an overlay. That's right, an overlay. Now remember, guys, I am from the 1800s. Look at this. It's made of wool. It's a woolen felted jacket. You're saying, how can you possibly be wearing a woolen jacket inside your house when it's 90 degrees in your house? Well, darlings, first of all, I was raised in a woolen mill circa 1800s, where that means oftentimes the temperature of the mill was, 100 and whatever degrees all the time. The wash area had 140 degree Fahrenheit water in the tanks, and that would make for a warm place. Anyway, so I'm quite used to the heat. And the other thing is that if you didn't know, wool insulates both ways. So it not only keeps the heat in, it also keeps the heat out. And it's surprisingly comfortable to wear, regardless of the temperature. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be layered up with a whole pile of wool. But I don't know if you can see, this jacket is microscopically thin. It's made with wool that's been felted onto silk. Anyway, it's all felted. There's no stitching. It's a process that takes many, many, many hours. And I call it, I do have a link on my thingy things, socials, sorry. Learn to speak the language, Ruthie, come on. You complain that people don't speak English. You could at least learn to speak the current language of our times. It has beads on it. These are all beads from my grandmother, from my Oma. On my stepmom's side, and or most of them are anyway, and also from a gentleman's grandmother who we met at a rummage sale in the summer of 2019. Anyway, these are grandmother beads, and they go onto the jacket. This is the first time with physical art that I've been moved to follow an artistic process that speaks to me from beyond myself. The ancestors speak to me through the making of these jackets, and it takes me about 100 hours to make one, but I do so love to do it. Anyway, if you're out there, please do say hello. I can't really tell. I am flying the actual monitor this time. Can you guys believe it? What? And I've got a song list thing right there. I'm learning. And today I just received my Twitch affiliate status. So darlings, I'm beyond shocked because that means that I can, I'm streaming on Twitch officially, and I can have things like subscriptions. Now the one thing that I have completely failed to do is get my personalized emotes together. So I'll do that over the weekend, and I'll have them ready for Tuesday. Okay. Enough blah, 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 blah. Well, it's hard because there's so much to tell you guys, okay? So much has happened, that's why. Today is known as Canada Day here in Canada, July the 1st, on this calendar that we follow here on the planet. Nonetheless, so human constructs are warping my brain right now, you guys. They just are. But okay, so last night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, my good buddy Clover, Tiny Wild Clover P.S., he's the hamster whose crazy run you see over at Critter Cam there. He passed away in my hands. He has a long story, and he has actually had one of the most epic lives that a captive hamster could ever have. And we can go into that as we spend the night in celebration of Tiny Wild Clover, a Syrian black bear, brackets, hamster. He seriously thought he was a black bear. He thought he should live in the wild. He was very brave. So we will have a viewing for his wake after a little while. You're like, oh my God, Ruthie, you're going to show us a dead rodent? Don't worry, it's very tastefully done. Death is my thing, as you know. Why? Why is death my thing? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I'm practicing. Everybody's gonna die. That's how life works. Welcome to Earth. It's true. Might as well practice, right? We gotta learn to let go. wanted to say about celebrating Clover is like, why would we celebrate the life of a tiny, tiny little hamster, right? One, because he became my friend. I became a friend with a tiny species of being. Excuse me, and we learned to communicate with each other in a way that was frankly more effective than much of my communication with human beings. And he's very tiny. That's our theme this month. Tiny but mighty. Trust me, Clover was mighty. He thought he was a black bear. Anyway, today being Canada Day, and with all of the light finally shining on the dark places here, a lot of people are thinking about the tiniest, the mightiest, because whoa, they must have been, right? So Clover represents that tiny might. Whatsoever you do unto the smallest of me, unto the tiniest of me, so you do unto me. Thanks for coming and lurking around, baby. I'm finding out that much of my community here on Twitch and my new friends, a lot of us, one of the things that we have in common is that we never sleep. That was probably way too loud. I need like probably a little better, setup one of these days in terms of my compressors, etc. Let me know if I'm blowing your heads off, guys. Just totally, because I noticed that the last stream was clipping, was breaking up. Lovely person that I would very much like to thank for coming to help me learn how to Twitch. On my inaugural day here, inaugural day of being a Twitch affiliate. How can that be? I didn't even get myself a custom emote yet, you guys. I'm not ready. How did that happen? Well, I've only been learning like 8 million things. You know what we should do, guys, is let's turn on that song request list. Song list request. You know, what's that thing called? You know. I can't even talk and play at the same time here today. I love it, baby. I got a permanent Twitch all the time. I will have emotes for you guys come Tuesday. Top Hat Tuesday. No, Tuesday. That's right. Boy, I can't even keep 3 brain cells in order at this point. Gonna sing for my supper, that's what I'll do. Gonna sing for my supper, that's what I'll do. Chris, haven't got nothing to give you. Gonna sing for my supper, well, I'm pretty lucky. Most the world starved through and through. I'm gonna learn this weekend, I promise. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know what Chris just did? He just bought you all and gave you as a gift subscriptions to my channel. Oh! What a way to start the show tonight, you guys. Meet Chris Six, one of the best moderators in the whole business, who has honored us to come over here and help me and Gumby learn how to do all of this stuff over here. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that, Gumby? Can you believe that we have a guy like Chris Six not only moderating for us, but buying us subs for all my friends? This is like walking into a bar full of strangers, except for that you know everybody, and then one of the guys that you've like never met before, but you already know him just because you know that the universe has brought him to you. And suddenly he buys all the drinks, buys a round for you and all your friends that you didn't know you have, but you knew the whole time, some of them for 30 years. Oh my gosh, you guys. Woo. This part is still true though. God flies in the cupboard, but there ain't no food. God flies in the cupboard, but there ain't no food. God flies in the cupboard, but there ain't no food. God flies in the cupboard, but there ain't no Right? Can we call you Oprah for short? Chris, Oprah Six? Darling, oh my God. That's, you guys, this is what community looks like. This is why I have been busting my little tushy trying to get over here to Twitch. This is just freaking me out, you guys. Chris, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I keep looking at the screen instead of into the camera. I will learn how to operate 6 things at the same time like a spaceship operator. You guys, the thing of it is that all of y'all have probably played, video games before, right? Hello, this old woman has never played video games before. Never, ever. Never, not one, ever in my whole entire life. So knowing how to modify or mod my channel. Evil laughter ensues, as does ridiculous laughter. And or knowing how to, pretty much anything to do with computers and the internet and all that kind of stuff is hugely a big for me. So I am just so grateful to you all. Chris, thank you for giving everybody a... Oh my gosh, you gave me my own sub, so I'm just like, you're paying for me to love myself, learning to love myself, you guys. This is kind of slaying me out, seriously, because here we are, we're having Clover's wake. I know, did you even hear about that part yet? I know. And I felt like because Clover is representing the tiniest among us, the tiny but mighty, which is our theme this month here at I Love Ruthie. I know I sound like a car salesman, don't I? Anyway, Clover represents the tiniest among us, and today is a ceremonial day, I believe, for the last 160, early, no, 154 years it's been celebrated as Canada Day, but today, probably for the first time among the majority of the consciousness in our country here, which is Canada, today is being um, seen as a day of mourning for the tiniest among us, children. And so for me, Clover passing away at 3 in the morning, in my hands, that was a message. And I feel that, I wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm full on crazy, and you might as well know it now. But I also care so deeply, and I get the messages from the universe through the strangest things like hamsters and flowers and butterflies and stories and songs on the radio. And not that long ago, LV asked me to pick a number. In fact, it was the day after Garth, Clover's good buddy, had passed away, and he said, pick a number. And we were watching Jonathan Bird's stream, and I didn't know what he meant or why, but I just suddenly said 5, and I picked number 5. And the poem that Jonathan read, because it was LV was asking me to pick a number out of this book so that Jonathan would read the poem. And the poem that Jonathan read, in fact, was this, right here. The lesson you are teaching me, I've heard it before. I heard it in the words that weren't in the Bible. I heard it in the singing treetops, in the cry of the hawk who takes and does not ask, in the rasp of the rabbit made to be taken. Garth was a rabbit. I heard it in the sad, quiet masturbation of a priest and the pale creak of the belt around the neck of the man who loved him. I heard it outside my office window in the wild and murderous breath of wisteria and the hollow of regret, the walking ghost of a life never lived. I hear it in the whisper of fabric. As you take off your dress, over and over it says, I never denied you. I never denied you. Beautiful poetry from Jonathan Bird. And again, of course, there is meaning for Jonathan as he wrote it, meaning for all of us as we interpret it and listen to it. And that day, when that came through the messages, I knew, crazy, I know, that it was a message from Garth. Because, what were the chances of the poem that we picked out of the ether would be one with a rabbit being taken? And Garth had been taken the night before by the fox because I never denied him. Now, you guys, if that's not evidence of magic, I don't know what is. I find that magic is more evident in the things that are not seen. The intangible has become tangible for me. Okay, I must look at your comments because I've been blatting on like a crazy person. Thank you again, Chris, for the subs. And everybody says thank you as well. And I know you're also... So, what's a video game? Are they no longer called that now? Oh my gosh. Yeah, little Clovey had a great life though. He was found in the wild after living for at least 4 months, known in a beautiful garden above the river in Calgary. And then it was minus 20 Celsius before he was finally captured at the end of November. And he came to live with me. I knew the moment I heard his story on the Facebook that I had to have him, and I called my girlfriend and said, I'll take him, no problem. I just knew Clovey had to come with me. And then the giant emporium was built for him, and a children's book has been written, and there's a character illustrated about him. And you see, he's a Syrian black bear hamster. And so he just didn't get the memo that he was a hamster. All he got was Syrian black bear. And he knew that Syrian black bears live in the wild. So that's what he did. And I've written a children's story, but he's lovely. Yeah, during a sad J song. Synchronicity, right? That little Clovey goes right at that moment when he's singing about life and the thing, right? You've been witness to it, my friend. You guys understand. I don't even need to tell you. For goodness sake, Ruthie, shut up. I tend to talk a lot, you guys. It's a thing that happens when you're, well, when you're theatrical, my dad's theatrical, and, all that thinking has to go somewhere, and mostly it comes out my mouth. Yeah, it was pretty cool last night that Chris, you, and Jay, and I can't remember who all was else. I think Clima was there, and there was little Clover. I went to check on him because he hadn't come down, and he normally does. And come on, and he wasn't moving, and I just knew, as we do, right? So I opened his little condominium, and there he was, just. He'd been down maybe an hour before or so, but I just had a feeling that, because I'd put some fresh cucumbers down for him, and he loves, and they were fresh out of the garden already, hello! And he loves cucumbers, and he hadn't stirred, so, and there he was. You know what, guys? I'm just going to check really quickly to see if I have any. Okay, go ahead and request a song, you guys. Please do. Please, please do. That would be so awesome. Go ahead and request a song if you'd like, because the song request thingy is on. And look, the thing right there. The thing right there. I have a song thing overlay. Come on, Ruthie, learn the language. You're always getting on other people about not learning the language. Okay. Anyway, guys, tonight we're really celebrating the tiniest among us. Your thing, Chris. Thank you so much, my friend. I can't even believe I'm sailing this ship at all. But we're pirates after all. Asked me why you're leaving, and I told him everybody left already, only I was just taking my turn. And I bet the sun felt the same when it shone down on every sorry soul gone before me. Faith's hope holds tight to one day all this killing and burning will clear a path to beauty. Joy as fast as we can here. Bless you guys. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. And you gals and you non-binary folks. Because apparently anybody and everybody is doing their thing here on the 1st of July. And you know, we have to acknowledge that it's just a freakish thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, get all grandmama up in here on this thing. Because if you just think about it for like a fraction of a moment, what exactly is going on here? You know, just in Earth, on Earth, in Earth, where, in general, what exactly is going on? In general. It's so magic. It's so magic. Look what we can create, you guys. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I just can't even believe it. I can't even believe that this is possible still with the whole magically huge, abundant life I've had, and I still have all of you here and everything that's happening in the world. And we have cause to celebrate today. We have cause to celebrate that we are just magic. Like Jonathan says, we are made of light. We are made of light. Maybe I better sing a little song about just, you know, that. Is it time for a waltz? Yes, it is. Let's sing it in an even a little higher key than we normally do. Why? Because we want to make a joyful noise. Wow. Make a joyful noise. There we go. Please do request a song. The song list is open, even if the guitar is not in tune. The guitar tuning bot has never joined me here at I Love Ruthie. I don't know where one gets a guitar tuning bot that will just, you know, come through the ether and tune this old guitar. But, you know, if you find one, let me know. I don't mean like a self-tuning guitar, but, you know, the bot that tunes your guitar while you're busy talking too much, for instance. Come on, baby. Where's that bot? There it is. You know, because we got the little bot-looking thing here on the back of the guitar telling me that, in fact, you are so far out of the realm of things where you should be that you need a bot, or at the very least, a fabulous moderator, like Chris Six, or Lord Vitae, or our good friend Gumby, who's going to learn, right, Gumby? You're going to learn to be a fabulous moderator, maybe. He's like, no, I just got you to get me to be a moderator so you wouldn't wreck the whole show tonight doing this all by yourself. I don't know. I'm very grateful for all your help. Man, because I would know where, I definitely would not have a song listy thing, and probably wouldn't have even had the gumption to get my affiliate status sorted out today. I have a W8 Ben filled out for the first time in, I don't know, a long time ever. It's a good thing. I tell you what, this 85-degree weather inside the house part makes for not the best guitar experience. There we go. Let's go with that. Surely. Oh man, it just gets worse by the minute. It's always that B string, or the G string in some cases, depending on what you're doing. Song now. She's playing notes on the guitar. We've already been going for Gumby, let me know. You've got headphones, right? I'm not using the headphones because, they don't fit over my top hat. I'm just hoping by the grace of God that the mix is relatively okay and the reverb isn't like welcome to share. And that we're not clipping like mad the whole time. So let me know. Dance in the darkness, sailing for day. Dance in the shadow, not knowing our way. We dance to the edge, our stride gone astray. We just keep dancing, there ain't no other way. God is in heaven, and he has his plan. But we're having a spell where we don't quite understand. Suppose time will reveal what he has in his hand. But until then, we're just doing the dance. 'Cause we dance in the darkness, sailing for day. Oh, we dance in the shadow, not knowing our way. We dance to the edge, our stride gone astray. We just keep dancing, there ain't no other way. I was thinking that cartoon, with Yosemite Sam, was it, that would do the dance cowboy thing? Dance cowboy! Technically, the violence of our childhood cartoons. That was my generation. We didn't actually have, Grand Theft Auto back then. Stuff like Pepe Le Pew was really offensive. Pretty risque. Not like, how Grand Theft Auto is just... Did I say something out loud? So as we glide across life's little stage, it's best not to give in to worry and rage. Let love be your lone partner. May you have courage and grace as you do that last waltz at the end of the race. 'Cause we all dance in that darkness, we're just sailing towards the day. Oh, we dance in the shadow, not quite knowing our way. We dance to the edge, our stride gone astray. And we just keep dancing, there ain't no other way. We just keep dancing, there ain't no other way. Request a song if you'd like, that's okay. It's a good idea. This song goes out to anybody that's grieving right now, and to all those that love with all their heart. I hope you guys heard me say that. It's kind of mumbling. Big love to all those that are grieving, and all those that love with all their heart. How are the fireworks, man? Nice. One day I'll be so technically savvy that I will have a thing that will be able to tell you the temperature in the room where I'm sitting. Because right now, if we had a thermometer, it would say about 92 degrees and or, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. It actually says 34 here on my computer. And that's all right. So my little sister Esther, I'm Ruth, she's Esther. And then we have Noah and Ezekiel, and Madeline and Laura Lee and Stephen. There's a lot of kids in my family. Some are full blood siblings, some are half blood siblings. How does that work? Like, you know, same mom, same dad, different mom, same mom, different dad, that kind of stuff. Anyway, Esther, my sister, I knew we were going there somewhere. She used to make films. No, she still does occasionally. She's a brilliant award-winning actor. That's why she went back to school to get her psychology degree. Because, you know, acting is so... when you're an award-winning Canadian actor. Anyway, Esther used to make films with Fred J. Eaglesmith. She and Fred made a film back in the year 2000, and that's when Fred gave me one of his albums, and it had songs on it like it had My Baby's Got Big Hair, and it had I Like Trains, and it had I Like to Drive at 105. Anyway, it had some really cool songs, and it had some songs about dogs and old ladies and cars, and it snapped something in my brain, and that's when I started writing songs. Meantime, Fred and Esther made a film together called The Gift with some local musicians and some fairly famous musicians, one of whom was Fred and one of whom was Oh Susanna. Anyway, I just wrote myself into the story because they kept their real names for the show. So she was Esther, he was Fred, and I'm Ruth, and I am Esther's sister, so I just wrote myself into the story. Oh my goodness. Chris, more subs? Gosh, honey, bless you. Thank you. Gumby just lives down the street from me, and he has been instrumental on helping me get some of this stuff up and going. I know him from, well, let's say a long time ago, probably before you were born, honey. This is where the old grandmother kicks in here. Yes, indeed. I've known Gumby. We used to travel in the days on the road when you could be in a band and you lived in your band van and you traveled from town to town and you played 6 nights a week, 5, count 'em, 5 sets a night. And Gumby was an extraordinary drummer. Yes, in those days. Man, pretty cool. You're so awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm looking there. I'm going, thank you so much. I'm smiling at the screen. It's ridiculous. This old girlfriend gonna learn, I tell you what. We may have to get a team of horses to drag me out of my old ways, but one of these days you guys will be marveling. It's actually, the funniest thing is that my chapter in this book, which did, in fact, for those of you that didn't know, go to #1 on Amazon in, count 'em, 17 categories on the day that it was launched. All the money from it at that point went to charity for women and girls. Regardless, my chapter is about learning how to overcome. It's called Finding My Way in a New Day. And it talks about me and, carburetors, and then all of a sudden I have to learn to run the internet. What? I was actually, the whole streaming thing started when, in my theatrical way, as I do, darlings, I had this urge, noticing that everybody was streaming little things on Facebook, and I thought, oh my, yes, brilliant. I shall do a reading of Edgar Allan Poe, very theatrical. And so I wanted to do a recitation of the Cask of Amontillado, which I did do. And somehow that turned into a nightly, initially, live stream on Facebook. And then that turned into like 4 days. And then I took the summer off for a little while last summer. And then I came back, and now I'm 2 days a week. Tuesday and Top Hat Thursday. Hey, speaking of Thursdays and Tuesdays, does anybody out there know Johnny Creative? If you know Johnny Creative, say something on the chat, because I have noticed that he has gone missing. Today, he was supposed to be streaming at 5 p.m. And I can't find him on the Facebook anymore. So, for those of you that do know Johnny Creative out there, please do say, dude, are you okay? If you happen to know him and see him being an active human of any kind. I don't know what happened to him, because we were streaming kind of on the same days, and he said, oh, let's figure out to not stream on the same time. And then I didn't get back to him for a week or two, and then he's disappeared all of a sudden. So I am hoping that he is okay. Regardless, I can hear the drum. There's a little snare drum sitting over in the corner there, and when I hits certain notes, it goes and rattles away. I should probably. Does that mean I have to undo the snare thingy underneath? Probably thing. Maybe one day, out of the mysterious ether, a drummer will come by and just play some soft drums with the brushes, quietly in the background. I do have him plugged in down here. The drummer, that is. I'll show you him with the critter cam when we get time for our official viewing with Clover, etc. Drop the snare wires. Okay, I'm sure that's what we'll do. Well, we'll go over and have a peek there when we, go on the critter cam. We will take a look and see what's going on with those. Look at that. Nightbot said something. Wow. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, Chris, but I took my... I put my spaces in between. Well, I don't suppose the bots have been botting yet, because I've hardly been talking to anybody on the chat. I think I have my command set up for, gotta be 10 people chatting and intervals of 15, 17, and 20 minutes or something. I'm learning, and I put the space in them so they should be active, right? And I put that new one. Hit that follow button. Because this is so neat to have humans coming around and being here. We will wave magic hands to conjure a soft drummer for a future stream. That sounds like a good idea, Gumby. I'm so excited to learn a bunch of new old songs that I used to know, like way long time ago. Because I saw Jay Bocott singing The House of the Rising Sun the other day, and I thought, wow, he did such a lovely job of it. I want to, break it out and do that myself. And I remember I used to know about 300 songs because for years, it wasn't until the year 2000 that I started to write, when Esther made the film with Fred Eaglesmith. So I used to know a lot of songs, mostly country songs, because I come from the short skirt, big hair days here in Alberta, where country music is what you play or hello, you get fired. Across Alberta, I managed to get myself kicked out of the worst hotel rooms in the world just for being a not commercial enough country band. I love that song. One of the first I learned to play on the guitar. Me too, Chris. My stepmom gave me my first guitar, and that was one of the first songs I learned. I guess I better sing it right now. Haven't sang it probably in 35 years. Let's see what we get. It's been the Yes, okay, after 35 years. We'll get it better. We'll get it better. We'll add it to the song list. Why not? Why not? What the heck? We can come up with our own thing. That's what I really admire about Jay Bocott is he just has so many beautiful, popular, like, top 40 songs that he does, like, a version of that's so awesome that it's like, I don't even care if that song is like Wonderwall or what's the other one that you're not allowed to play anymore? The Wagon Wheel. There's another one. Jay could make a version of Wagon Wheel that, like, we'd all want to sing it over and over. How does he do that? He's just a wonder, that child. He's a Wonderwall wagon wheel. That's what he is. Oh, don't tell him I said that, because he might take offense that I'm teasing him. I just love that young man so much. I have admired him for a long, long time, and we just live far enough away. Stairway to Heaven. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you know what? That was one of the very early songs that I learned as a child as well. How did it go? It was something like, I can't remember. It was somewhere down here on the 5th fret. Anyway, I used to know how to play it when I was 10. And on it, it's a wonder that I even remember the name of the song at all, because I did survive, the 80s, for instance. Not as bad as surviving the 70s, but close. And I was born in the 60s. Uncle Jogsy, did you see there that, darling, you have a subscription to my channel? If you take a look in the chat, I don't know if you can scroll up on the chat or not, probably not. Chris Six, our lovely good friend and moderator. Mod. I'm not supposed to say the whole word. Mod. Yay. Bought you a sub. Isn't that cool? I know, it's freaking me out. This community. This is what community looks like. And this doesn't have to be like saving poor homeless people from the street. You're just saving poor homeless. Well, no. I'm actually homed. I could be homeless, though, if I don't, come up with the land taxes. Luckily, I don't have a mortgage anymore, and that's how I can live like a vagabond. I've lived off of donations and a bottle drive, and I've just started embarking on the rummage fair. That's why there's stuff everywhere in my tiny cottage. Been living off of donations and bottle drive money, and the kindness of people like my good buddy Terry Webb. That's right. Helping me, my good buddy Gumby, and my good buddy, obviously now, Chris Six, and my good buddy Hippie Mama 99, and my good buddy, okay guys, I'm not going to name you all, Stu Loud, and my good buddies, everybody else that's watching this show, because I can't actually see who's watching right now. I haven't figured that part out yet. Point is how about request a song? You guys are the best. I'll learn more songs. Maybe request songs that you want me to learn, possibly, as well. I guess the thing to do is for me to get a Discord thing going, and then we can have a part where people say, hey, Ruthie, why don't you learn this song? And then we could do that. But how about, until I see a song come up on the thing, we're helping a starving musician. That's right. You guys are helping a starving musician. Albeit I'm not starving. I actually got quite fat this winter, but it's a technical term. It's like when we say that people have hysterical. There's medical terms that use the word hysterical, for instance, which doesn't literally mean hysterical. We are helping each other get through this beautiful, magical, also completely tragic, utterly unbelievable time on Earth, and I am just quite overwhelmed, actually, guys, to know you all, to get to know you all, to begin to get to know you, and to hopefully meet you all again, if we haven't before. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. Meet you all in real life, and let's have a big party. Okay, I'm trying to think of a song that I haven't sang through yet for you guys. Please do make a request. That would be awesomeness. We're gonna go to the Critter Cam in about, less than 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes to departure on the Critter Cam. Here's a song I wrote quite a while ago, I guess. Funny how the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's Hey, you know what, Chris? I do not know any Sarah McLachlan songs, but I have a really good Sarah McLachlan story for you. So, back in the olden days, we can have olden days music playing in the background. You just imagine that. Back in the olden days, there was a club in Calgary, the nearest big town to where I am close. And the guy who ran that club was an amazing dude. He knew a hit band when he heard one, and he had a bead on all the up and coming bands. And I, at that time, also still being a starving artist, musician, making my living, had my little local band and stuff. And the club owner would hire me, because this was before the days of, a lot of like digital stuff and printers, everybody having a printer and all that kind of stuff. You could make posters really easy yourself. He would hire me to actually do the chalkboards and the whiteboards and make handwritten posters for the upcoming acts at the club. The club was called the Old Scotch, and it was really at its height in the late 1980s. And I mean, this was the club. And Garth, the guy who ran the club, he knew. And so he had all these up and coming bands come through, and of course I'd be down at the club in the daytime doing the chalkboards and the whiteboards and putting up posters and stuff. And I often would spend the day, visiting with the bands while they were doing sound check and getting set up, and, usually eating some lunch and stuff. So I had lunch with Sarah McLachlan before anybody knew who she was, and she was playing that weekend at the Old Scotch. So we hung out and had lunch and visited for a little while. I even remember she had I had a chicken sandwich. They made really good grilled chicken sandwiches there at the time. I can't remember what she had, but she was lovely and very soft-spoken and a fabulous gal. And I was astounded when she got to sing. Another gal who was there a lot at the Old Scotch was a gal who's a very famous Canadian musician now, Jan Arden. She got her start. In fact, her first guitar player is now my guitar player. He's a guy named Dave Holloway. And he was with her before she had her guy now, who's Ross Broom, who's really the one who was with her while she's famous. Oh, Chris, I've had some really famous musician stuff because I've just been around for long enough. If you hang around in the music world in North America, well, actually on Earth, in the Western culture music world, you will get to know all kinds of famous people. And I think we're going to see it happen here on Twitch. I really do. Like, oh heavens, there's so many stories, but we'll get to them. Let me think. But so a lot of them, of course, for me happened when I was working at the Old Scotch. Bands like the Tragically Hip coming through on their very first tour, or Long John Baldry, or there's a band in Canada at that time called Uzeb, and they were just an extraordinary fusion jazz band. Sass Jordan, partying with her late at night after the show. Woo! Oh yeah, and the guys that played with Long John Baldry, they had a band called Pete and the Sneaks. It was a power trio with the piano player Pete Smith. He played the piano and the bass keyboard. And they had Jeff Ayre, the drummer from Bryan Adams, yeah, and the Hometown Band. Jeff was the drummer. What a maniac, what a drummer. He played the best shuffle I've ever heard in my life, bar none to this day. I've never heard a shuffle before or like what Jeff Ayre used to play. Just one of those ones that would scoop you up and take you away with it. Okay, why don't we just do something? Okay, metal bands. The ones who sound like the lead singer is... Well, here's the funniest thing, Chris. I absolutely love hard rock. I don't know a ton about it, but up until freaking Jonathan Bird, dude, like this is a whole crazy story how I ended up here. Again, the intangibles being more tangible than the tangible. I ended up here because of Jonathan Bird, first of all. But prior to Jonathan Bird, I really did not listen to other singer-songwriters because it made me crazy. I'd start overthinking everything. And, other than Fred Eaglesmith, back, 20 some years ago, cracking my brain open and allowing me to give myself permission to write songs. Because, if it's like about a granny or a dog or a pickup truck, who cares, right? It's a song's a song's a song, write the thing. Hello? Anyway, and so I gave myself permission to start writing. But other than that, I didn't listen to other songwriters. I'd only listen to like really heavy pop, rock, as much as I hate to admit, stuff like, Breaking Benjamin, or I super love Billy Talent. When I was younger, my kids turned me on to like Green Day. I guess that's not very heavy. Green Day is pretty, what do you call it? Melodic, aren't they? Love Billy Talent. What a great band. And just like, there's a guy from Canada. He's a heavy blues rock. He kind of sounds a little bit like ZZ Top, but heavier. His name is Bill Durst. Oh my God. Check out Bill Durst. He's a really good buddy of mine. Anyway. Mushroom Head a few times. Holy smokes. Yeah, I've heard of them. I have so. Not a ton because, I'm a country singer, but I do love like screamo and heavy rock. My day was more like stuff like Metallica was heavy in my day. And of course, growing up, weaned on and totally loving Zeppelin and stuff like that, right? Loved Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Jeff Beck, Guitar Shop. Speaking of making constipated sounds. Jericho and Fozzy. Chris Jericho. Okay, man. Chris Jericho, I'm sorry. I'm beyond that. We're starting to go out there. But, you're probably way more super hip. Gumby, you can probably speak to that. Gumby's way more hip than me when it comes to hipness. Thing I'm actually hip about is trying not to be entirely rude while I spit out my lemon seeds. But beyond that, the thing that I'm actually hip about is, carburetors probably would be a good place to start. Standard transmissions, hitching up a team and wagon. How about sorting wool grades? Things like that. A little bit more. Yeah, I'm not... for a musician, I'm not that hip to music. Funnily, I just didn't listen to a lot of... I get a sore hip and opened a beer once. Ah ha 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 ha. You so funny, Mr. Gumby. Okay, Ruthie. Once again. We've reached the scary part. Ooh, scary part. Where you're talking too much. I just feel like singing you guys a different song that I haven't sang yet. Please do put on a request, you guys. Oh, ba-doo. Okay. And then we'll do that. As you notice, I'm wearing my capo upside down. Just to mess with the purists partly, and because also the grooves, they get kind of worn in there, And then we're going to go to Critter Cam. I'm sure I used to know a Pink Floyd song at some point, at one time. I'll have to think on that one. I know I could do one with Jay Bocott. Like I could play, rhythm on Wish You Were Here and sing harmony or something. stole our land, so I knew I had to make a plan. The time was now to make a plan. Here's the little spider running around. He's looking for a drink. Don't be scared if he runs across the screen. Packed up the horse and the shooting iron, put out the lamp and I killed the fire. Left that old farmhouse wired, 'cause TNT don't take no sides. TNT don't give free rides. But you know I cried when you went to town. You know I cried when they gunned you down. You know I cried when you didn't come home. Now my tears run down forsaken road. La 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 la. Out in the cold, out on the run, out in the storm with their 6-gun. They'll never know what I have done. Our home's long gone, but I'll have one. Where is the powder girl, I tell you? I pay her good money to arrive, and what do you know? She hasn't even arrived yet. Meantime, the poor spider's running around panicking, looking for a drink. It knows that there's got to be some fresh water here somewhere. The servants... Right then. No powder girl. No water lady for the spiders. I actually think it's only about 86 degrees in here right now, guys, so that's not too bad. All right, darlings. The time you've all been waiting for. Right now, we are going to switch over to the critter cam, and we're going to have our little viewing for Clover, our poor little tiny wild Clover, our poor little Clover who passed away in my hands last night. And he's been a really big part of, oh, Chris, you've asked for a song. Wow, lovely. I will do that song for you. And we will get some of those other ones, like a Janis song and a Pink Floyd song. I'm going to think back into the archives of my brain, because hilariously I can remember some of those ones, like, you know, like this one. So we'll get it to you just in a moment once we come back from Criticam. Anyway, Clover representing the tiniest, the tiny and the mighty and the sacred among us, because we are just, like JB says, we are made of light. We are magic. This whole thing is such a gift. The beauty, the horror, the life, the death, the light, the dark, all of it. And so we are honoring little Clover today, who honors all those that are tiny and have succumbed. Especially today here in Canada, on Canada Day, where it feels better to honor the tiny. Okay, so we're switching over to Crittercam. Don't forget, it puts us into the particulate, and we have to go dark and quiet for a moment, but then bing, we'll arrive on the other side. It's just like going with Captain Kirk, you know, beam me up, Scotty, right? Okay, so we just go into, like, we all become particles, and then we arrive at the Crittercam after that. Okay, I promise, because I know what I'm doing now. Trust me. Okay, here we go. Da 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 da. Don't worry, it'll go black, but we'll be back. And we are continuing to See? What did I say, darlings? I told you that we'd be back. I told you that we'd be back. Here we are. with the critter cam. Okay, let's see if we can do this without turning it off, Ruthie. Excellente. I've got it here on a clippy stand, which is of course quite clippy. Okay, so this, yeah, is Clover's former cage, which was quite elaborate, and he lived his last 7 months, which is a substantial part of a hamster's life, in this enclosure, which he very much enjoyed. And had a really pretty nice time. Clatter, clatter. We make a joyful noise. Okay. So, we're going to go. This is sensitive stuff, folks. For those of you that are sensitive, you don't want to see Clovey in his viewing, feel free to go and have a pee or get a drink or do the... Come on, camera. Focus. Do the thing that one does. Okay? There we go. To honor the ancestors, there's my grandparents on my mother's side. And then we're going to go over here. Look at this cool book. My mom gave it to me. But I didn't know she had given it to me till after she died, and we opened it. And it said this inside. With love to Ruth. This book is signed over for your birthday, 2007, May 21st. So, Mom was an antiquarian book. Well, I won't use the word. Anyway, she did love her antiquarian books. Anyway, guys, for those of you that are sensitive, we're now going to have our viewing of Clover, and please do, yeah. I decided to say that he is resting in state because I thought he was officially representing the sacred today. Okay. So here's little Clovey. He did indeed love all those flowers. All right, darlings. Thank you. Thank you for honoring the tiny among us. I'm going to clatter down the cluttered hallway and see if we can find any more critters. No critters out there. There's a few surviving flowers that haven't evaporated into the heat. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. Here's a critter. Henry. This guy is the champion. Henry, you're the champion of getting sprayed by Mama Skunk. Henry has at this point been sprayed, count 'em, 3 times by the Mama Skunk. She doesn't like him for whatever reason. She likes the other cats. Matthew, the big fluffy pale orange kitty, thinks he's the dad of the skunks, and he's always hanging around, fighting with the neighbor's cat Brick, who's the black kitty. Anyway, Henry gets sprayed by the skunks, doesn't seem to bother him. Comes in, lets me wipe him down with apple cider vinegar and give him a little scrub. And he really doesn't stink for long. Apple cider vinegar is a good cure. Diatomaceous earth is wonderful for deodorizing pets as well. A combo of those things works quite well. Oh, big yawn, Henry. The poor thing is that poor Henry is 17 years old. Right? Poor Henry. Okay. He's a good orange kitten. Right, Henry? Do. I love those wall hanger things. Okay. On we go. Back over to say thank you. That's just About the only thing that I have that I can say to you guys is thank you all the time. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for having met you all, for knowing you all. Goodness. Trying not to wreck the thing. Is that right? Okay, there we go. Issue. Issue-ya. Issue-ya. If you happen to see something that you like in the chaos which you have been witness to for all of this business, it's because, well, and you like it and you want it, call me. Everything in my house, just about, mostly not the books or all the instruments, but mostly many things are for sale because, well, one does need to detach from things, first of all, good practice, and secondly, I need to raise money to fund my now almost completely recorded third album. So I've managed to muster the wherewithal to get it recorded. Now I just have to pay the engineer, pay the producer, pay to have it mixed and mastered, and then pressed, and then of course marketed, which, you know, of course will cost many thousands of dollars these days. Run! Anyway, it's going well, and it's good, and we're supporting each other in community, and I have a whole whack of stories to tell you about that. So I'm doing the rummage fair. So if you see something you like or that you want, like, for instance, how about a handmade felted tea cozy? Now this one has organza felted right into the felt, along with silk and angelina and mohair and various crazy things like that. And then I've hand stitched the little patches of organza. And then, of course, I would add a little border at the bottom so that it would look more like this one, you know, with the little border at the bottom. See? Anyway, this one's kind of nifty because I don't know if you can see it very well. The organza is felted into the piece, so in between two pieces of wool, basically. So it makes a marvelous tea cozy and or a hat. I can make a brooch or flying pterodactyl. Okay, no. Anyway, so, you know, we can border it with a lovely border of wool, and so many things I can make from wool, having grown up in a woolen mill. Right then, enough of the advertising, but just to let you know that that's what's going on here. Wool is quite lightweight for the amount of bulk that it has. So it wouldn't cost anything to mail this, for instance. I'm doing most everything by donation. Having my little rummage fairs where I go around, I'll show up with my little table and my PA, and I'll sing songs and sell my stuff, and we'll do that at your garage sale. So, phone me, call me, write me, track me down. Darlings, I'm a walking advertisement lately, but literally this is how I've been getting by. It's so nuts. It's been so wonderful. I'm so grateful. So, tomorrow, Clover will be officially interned, and then because, you know, awake, you can only have them, you know, about 24 hours before things get, you know how that goes. Life and death on Earth again. So thank you for joining me here tonight at Critter Cam, and I love Ruthie and Clovey's celebration, and the celebration of all beings tiny who are mighty in the eyes of the great magic. The great magic. Okay, stick around, guys. We're going back to the other thing. Now, going back on the Critter Cam, we reparticulate instantly. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Oh, look who's here. Lady Drazina. Hi, darling. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, R.I.P. Clover, poor little guy. Beaming you up right now. That's right. That's how it works, right? We beam me up, Scotty. I have a new song coming on the new album. It's called Captain Kirk. And I've actually done the most sacrilegious thing you could do for one of those Trekkie people, is I've written a song about Captain Kirk and Star Wars, like Star Trek and Star Wars at the same time, referencing both in the song. Oh, to the horror! To the horror! But it's really a fun little song. It's going to come out really fun. Um, Two dogs sprayed, strong garlic and burning rubber. Nyang, nyang. I know it's wicked, right? Like there's that deep, like makes your eyes water and you choke. You can't even breathe it. They live right under my floor of my bedroom, and sometimes they'll fight in the night and up through the bedroom floor. I'll be sleeping and I'll be like awakened by. And surprisingly, Chris, surprisingly the smell goes away. Within about probably a lot longer than I think. I have nose blind. I can't smell anything anymore. Everything I own smells like skunks, and not the happy kind of skunk smell, right? Like, kazipes, right? For kazipes. I know we got to get some real kazipes. That's a brilliant idea, Jay's kazipes, right? It does look like a bowl. Kazipes for sale. Yeah, there'll be no border crossings of kazipes anytime soon. But it looks like most of what state are you in again? I can't remember now. Most of America is starting to fall to the great, the great underrated outcome of that, during the war on drugs, that, hey, congratulations to drugs for winning the war on drugs. A little bit hard on some of the folks these days, because one of the unfortunate things that happened in the war on drugs was that when I was a young person, the introduction of the really horrible hard drugs happened. Again, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but back in the 80s, the Olympics were being held come the winter of 1988. They were going to be held in Calgary. And the powers that be were trying to make Calgary look like the most perfect little city you've ever seen. And the campaign by the powers that be, we will just say, during the summer of 1988, the agenda was to make Calgary more metropolitan and worldly, and also to make it look like the cleanest city on earth, which in the height of the 80s, the war on drugs, that was the goal, especially if you're bringing an international audience and competing with the likes of your big brother America. So there was a billboard on the main strip, the main going out and doing your thing strip. It was called Electric Avenue. There was a great big billboard on the strip, and it said, "So you think it's dry now?" And most people were like, "What are they talking about? Gee, it was a hot summer, but okay, funny that the police, Calgary police, would put up a sign about the weather. I don't understand." But of course, some people did understand. Now the funny thing is that you couldn't find anything on the black market at that time as far as herb goes at all. Nothing, not a. That summer was brutal. It was like $100 for a quarter ounce of weed. Crazy. And but you could get cocaine and crack and crystal meth suddenly for like super cheap. That was the year they introduced the nasty new kind of speed, which was the crystal meth up here. And oy vey, now we know what happened. Anyway, I suppose I'm probably not even supposed to be talking about these bad things now, am I? Am I going against the rules here for Twitch? Probably. Don't talk about bad things. Don't be naked. Right. Oh, I was checking out your stream, Lady Drez. I know nothing about what you were doing, but I saw you were playing a game, and then my stupid interwebs wouldn't keep up. So just before I went on, it was crazy. Ohio, near Cleveland. Man, I once did a collab with this young kid. He was like a rap guy, and I found him on Reverb Nation, and I sent him my album, and he was gonna sample my tunes for my first album and do it like the cool thing. He had some really cool stuff, but of course he died in some kind of street war thing. Phooey. Cleveland is some serious stuff, man. Yeah, Motorhead was on speed, but they were on the good kind. Like back prior to the sort of late 80s, there was, Benny's and the kind of speed that, the Kennedys were on. And you could sustain that shit for a long time. Same with the Quaaludes, as long as you didn't go driving or operating machinery or, fucking drugging people's drinks. Like, as long as everybody was on the plan, let's do Quaaludes or acid or some of the drugs that were around, back in the day when it was, what's the word? It wasn't so, it wasn't a death sentence just to try a different drug other than smoking a little weed or drinking a beer or, doing the stupid thing that teenagers did in my day, which was raid their parents' liquor cabinet, right? I'm sure every teenager did this at one time or another. Raid the liquor cabinet and just take a little bit from each bottle so nobody'd notice and mix it all together, make shit mix, right? Drink too much of that and puke on your cat. Anybody ever? That's another story. Okay, you guys, you got to stop me from this talking business. It's ridiculous. I'm probably about to burn the house down. I've got an ice pack under my board. I got an ice pack under the power source for the board. I got an ice pack on top of the power source for the board. I've got an ice pack under my phone because my phone has decided that it's overheating all the time too now. It's reached the age of where, if we have to work, we're going to overheat and shut down every time. So don't use it for an interweb thing, nothing. I need a new phone. Yay! This is what I'm talking about, the 21st century. If you wanted to wear down, like even just a belt on a machine at the woolen mill, it would take you so many RPMs. It would be in the millions of RPMs. Millions of rotations, just rotations per minute or not per minute. Just if you ran that belt around and around and around for millions of times, you might put some wear on it. If you use your phone for, 6 weeks, you might have it starting to overheat, regardless of the weather. It's just doing it coincidentally. Am I ranting and being cranky? Oh, it's a freaking fentanyl, dude. How many people have you all lost down there? Like, same here. I've been watching the YouTube and looking at, like Kensington Avenue in Philly. What the is with the leaning over halfway thing and just like grazing the street? I wrote a thing about it, but anyway, I don't know. That's the stuff that moves me, is what is the edge of the human experience? How come we have to explore the edges of the human experience, both on the joyous side and the absolutely horrific side and everything in between? But that is the deal. That is the earth deal. The magic has the dark and the light and everything in between. It's like a rainbow moonbeam, star thing. I need more words. Oh my God, people are driving and drive through people's houses and stuff. Oh, I have a phone for 5 days and it's already outdated. Yeah, you have a phone for 5 days and it is already outdated. I know, this is an agenda. Once again, the greed that has created the foundation of our 21st century currency is unfortunate, because it's been the currency of the human experience for quite some time, and it has led us to where we are. However, things like what we're doing here now with Twitch and community and growing and learning and sharing and helping each other, you guys, this is what community looks like. This is what we will be. This is what the prophecies of all the time say will be the only way for there to be anything left for the human experience, is that if we come together in love, all walks of life, all kindnesses, all peoples, all places, all ways, come together only in love. And whatsoever you do unto the smallest of my brethren, right? And I mean, you can translate to that any way you want. But ultimately, you guys, we have to meet our day at the end of the day, and this is what's saving me right now. I am really preaching right now. Did I say I was a music channel? Apparently we haven't done any music all night. Clover! Clover, you guys, please welcome Clover MacGyver. Oh my gosh, you guys. This young man is a fine human being. I was just at his house yesterday and I picked up a telescope. He gifted me a telescope because I live in the country where we don't have light pollution and I'm going to get to look at the stars like I've never been able to before. He also gave me some bottles for the bottle drive, some wonderful advice. We talked about the birdies. He is a lovely bird bath, bird-loving, fine gardening, beautiful stained glass making man. And we met for the first time in real life yesterday. So it's so cool that, darling, you have gotten onto Twitch. Thank you for coming. I'm so grateful. I have to be here now on Twitch because I've become an affiliate, and that means you have to exclusively only stream on Twitch. You're not allowed to do Facebook anymore. I can post eventually on YouTube, and I can share a link to the Twitch show, but ultimately, if you want to chat with me, you have to be signed up, and I love it that you're signed up because it doesn't cost anything, right? It's a bit complicated because you got to link the guy to the thing and the who, the wadi, da da, you know. But that's again the 21st century, isn't it? Okay, Ruthie, I think we have done enough preaching for one show. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Well, all I am saying is that I really do love you all, and I'm grateful beyond words. I've been sobbing with gratitude, and sobbing with grief, and sobbing with wonder, and just generally sobbing, you know. If you guys really knew the whole story, which I guess you'll eventually get to know, because here we are talking about ourselves and each other and learning and growing together. But like, for instance, I have this stalker dude, and like not a good kind of stalker, a bad kind, and I hadn't heard from him in over 2 years, and here we all are. Got a letter today in the email. What makes people think that they can just be mean to each other? I don't understand. Anyway, you know what we say to stalker dudes? We say, stuff you! I don't give a flying flip bird what you think. He's probably not bright enough to figure out how to get on Twitch, so that's good. And I have him blocked on the other things, so he shouldn't be able to find me. Super grateful to you guys. Every day things are getting better. Oh, wait. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. G. Let's try it in G. There's a Willie Nelson song. As is requested in my song list. Look at that. Yeah, right on. We'll ban the bad guys. Because we can only kill them in the songs, right? Have always been Instead of my kin, I let the words of my youth fade away. Old worn out saddles, old worn out memories, no one, no place to stay. My heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are, it seems. Sadly in search of one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams. Yeah, they're sadly in search of the one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams. Jedi Nightmare, how you doing, baby? Did you see that? Chris Six got y'all a sub, my friend. A sub. Isn't he the best? I know. What a guy. I'm so thrilled. This is my first night. I just clicked the button for affiliation today. I don't even have you guys. I don't even have my emotes. I'm so embarrassed together. But I will work on it over the weekend and I will have them next Tuesday. I will. Okay. So, if you guys want to go ahead and throw another song or two on the song list, we're still open for like another song or two, and then I should probably shut off the whole rig before it spontaneously combusts and burns down my house, which it probably is thinking of doing. I don't dare reach over and touch it. I have, however, put in a grant application to the Alberta Music Industry Association. They put out a call for grant applications for live music things, and it's only for like $1,500, but I should find out in the next 2 weeks if I got that grant, and it was all to get better stuff for streaming. All to get better stuff for streaming, so I'm going to move upstairs out of the middle of my living room in my tiny little cottage here. I've got a dormer up there, and I'm going to set up in the window of the dormer area so I can look at the train while it goes by. Maybe we'll have a train cam eventually, and a proper background, and better things and more cool stuff all the time coming your way. But first thing will be emotes for my lovely subs. Okay. Thank you, Clover. Yes, indeed. Since you have mods, I'm sure I or Gumby are able to raid for you if your rig is too hot. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you guys, why don't we pick someone to raid? We'll do another couple songs. Anybody else? This is your last chance to put a song in the song list. Let's see here. Ba, 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 ba. I think I can do this myself. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see if that works. There you go. Look at that. There's the song list, guys. I just made it appear for you. I know it doesn't seem that fascinating for those of you that have done computers and stuff like this before, but I really haven't done stuff like this before. I am the true definition of a Luddite. However, should the apocalypse really go down, and the power goes out, and there's no refrigeration, and you have to, stalk and kill your own critters, and if we have to, but, you need to survive in the wilderness, there I can help you with that. Or get away on horseback, or, I can help with that. If any of the wild places are still left where I used to go outfitting. We used to have to trail a couple of 100 miles in on horseback to the mountains and stuff, like in northern BC or here in northern Alberta. we would trail about, one of the outfits was 250 miles, and we'd have to cross the Injanika River on a barge. And when I trailed out the second year that I was up there doing that, after about 5 months in the forests, in the mountains, I rode a little mare, a little fat mare, who she kept really well up there for that time. I rode her out the 250 miles bareback, because that was the way to stay warm when we were pulling 15 hours in the saddle, trailing out of town, or trailing out of the hills. And when we got back to the civilization, we got into we were at a sort of a staging area, and there was a pickup truck. And we got in the pickup truck, we were going a whole 25 miles an hour, and it was like freakishly fast. And then we went and had dinner at a restaurant in a town called Mackenzie. And just being inside a building, it had an echo. You could hear the echo in the room when we walked in the building. It was just far out. My point is you can go wild very quickly. I felt pretty small against that weak old wall of prairie, 'cause I was just a girl from halfway around the world. It scared me. I gave my heart, I was pretty and smart at 18, with arms so strong and a deep bass song, he thrilled me. The world went mad across the sea, so far from this tranquility. Over there such tragedy, as I waited here in disbelief. Never seen such big skies, never known such dark nights, never seen the stars shine so bright over me. A winter cruel, the wind whistled through across the prairie. Then they asked him if he would sail that ship with the Navy. such big skies, never known such dark nights, never seen the stars shine so bright over me. Never seen such big skies, never known such dark nights. I'll watch for his star bright over me. You know, I still feel pretty small against that wheat gold wall of prairie. Yet when I look up at that big sky, I believe. Oh, you guys, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Good idea, man. Yeah, one must make sure that they medicate appropriately for those heart-wrenching songs. That's my job as a songwriter. Make sure, you know, that you either want to cry or laugh or dance or sing. Okay. Let's sing another song. Now here's a scary song. When we were recording this song, this is off my first album, which is out of print and I don't have it up digitally, but one of these days, you know, when I'm a master of my own destiny, I shall reissue it. Anyway, when we were recording this song, we figured that, we figured that it should get us banned by the Catholic Church, which nowadays, you know, or any day, frankly, was a good thing. So we were always on the right path. Come on, B. It's always that little Sharpie B. Sharpie B. Who could blame this poor old beat-up guitar for being not in tune? Who could blame me for not being in tune? I'm going to stop blaming myself because, you know what? We're just going to get better. Better, better, better all the time. Okay, this song, if you sing it, should get you banned from the Catholic Church. guys. Woo. Well, that didn't work. What do we got here? Add Ruthie Love, Chris 6. Okay, we're trying to do some new commands. Cool. That's okay. We'll get it, you guys, because hello, you're working with me, and as soon as we touch the whole thing goes. Bot commands do not work normally when in proximity to Ruthie. Trust me, guys, but it's okay. It always works out in the end. Eventually, we get it together. Thank you, guys. You guys are just the super awesomest. I'm just so super freaking happy to be doing this. This is so fun because I am like totally into doing emotes. I'm a bad emoter because I emote too much. Like I fill up the whole thing, take up the chat, kick the people that, you know, want to tell their princess stories out, and then it's all gone bad. But there you go. Okay, so that's it for our song request. Let's turn the song list off, and I'm going to do one more song, and then let's go raid somebody. We've got to raid somebody. And you guys, I'm thinking, for just secret still, I haven't worked it out yet, but I was thinking I had a vision in the night, you know, in my delirium when I wasn't sleeping and taking care of my dying hamster, and the skunks were out fighting with the fox, and I was worried the baby skunks were getting eaten, and it was all just getting really tragic. But okay, it turned out to be okay, because Clover was like 103 in hamster years, so, and he had the best life, man. He lived in the wild. He has a storybook written about him. He's about to become a famous character. He lived in the biggest hamster emporium known to man, and I loved him, so that helps. Like, for just general, you know, being loved in this life. That's why we come to Earth, is to feel that love. Feel it, you guys. Anyway, okay, I'm losing my mind. So yeah, we've turned off the song list. I made my own bot. Please check out my Etsy shop. Okay, no. Chris is making his own bot. We're working on our own bots. Chris bot, Ruthie Love. Okay, cool. Chicka there. Aw, thank you, Chris. That's so cool, you guys. If you didn't know, for those of you that don't know, Chris is an epic, incredible, well, I don't even know about his music, but I've seen his filmmaking. He made a video for Jay Bocott for Whiskey, right? For Whiskey? Was it, or was it for Fire? Or both. Anyway, he made an incredible, maybe, please, Chris, put your link, your YouTube link on there. Or a link for on the chat, a link for Jay Bocott's videos that you made. Did you make more than one? I know for sure there's one that I saw and it was just like, dude, golly, so fantastic. Whiskey Rider, okay, I figured. Yeah, put the link, please, for your video that you made on YouTube for Whiskey Rider. Please put that in the chat. Because you guys, you got to see, first of all, the video, and second of all, hear Jay Bocott's song. And then go over to Jay Bocott if you don't know him, and love him up. We could even shout out Jay Bocott. Might as well. Okay, so there's the video. Chris put it in. Yay! This is so neat! The Queen of Chaos commands an empire now. No, settle down, Ruthie. Don't let Ruthless out. You guys do know that, of course, the other side of Ruthie is ruthless. We don't want Ruthless to ever arrive. She does rear her ugly head every now and then, though, and occasionally says inappropriate things, possibly more than occasionally. So just go ahead and say, that was Ruthless. What the flying flipbird was that? That's our saying right here at I Love Ruthie's. What the flying flipbird was that? Anybody ever seen any flying flipbirds before? Flying flippers! What the flying flipbird was that? Okay, you guys, this is obviously, I have now become delirious, partly with the heat. This is the longest I've ever streamed in my life, 2.5 almost hours. It's so epically amazing. I'm so happy to be doing this. So I'm going to sing you one more song. And I'm so grateful, and I will have for all of the lovely people who are now subscribed, thanks to Chris 6. I will now have emotes for you on Tuesday. They'll be here. I'm going to figure it out on the weekend. I don't care if I have to hire young baby aliens We're going to have a Garth emote, Garth the little bun. We're going to have a Clover emote, Garth the little hamster. And we're going to have a Matthew emote. And that'll be our 1, 2, 3 tiers until we get to our next level where we can have more. Because the critters are our inspiration for just... they show us how to do the hard stuff, right? They show us how to come to earth and just be faithful and loving, regardless of how things go. Hard work. They just show us all the hard stuff, and then they show us how to leave the planet with grace and love. So we've got to be really thankful for all the critters, and of course they feed us and clothe us, entertain us. Depending, on who we are and what we're doing. Some of us are vegans and we don't eat critters or anything to do with that, but it's a big world and there are many ways of doing things. Here at I Love Ruthie, we just love to include everybody. Everything from tractor pulls to lunch with the Queen. All of it in between. As long as you're being nice. No nastiness or ruthless has to show up. We don't want that. I'm Ruth Purvis Smith, and I'm super grateful to meet you. Take my hand, we're gonna run away. Going far from here, we're gonna go to stay. Gotta get out of this town. Nobody knows where we're gonna go. Just pack it up and get the show on the road. Gotta get out of this town. The planktons we hire won't be the last. Gonna break the line. Na 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 na. Ha 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 ha. I saw you coming, coming. Oh, oh, oh. Hire baby planktons. Yes, please, Chris, send me a Pink Floyd cover that you did for sure. We will endeavor to get a Pink Floyd tune on the song list. We have to get back into the archival brain cells. I used to know like 300 songs, but that was like 20 years ago. Most of them were country, mind you, but the world's so big and we're so small, don't always understand it all. Gotta get out of this town. Same old stuff, just a different day, and we all know that it better change. Gotta get out of this town. The bridge we burn won't be the last. Gonna take a turn just a little too fast. Make it count, gonna make it go our way. Honey, hey. Come on out to the country, you guys. And of course, Chris, if you're ever in Canada, I got lots of room and places to stay out here. And it's sure peaceful. And there's lots of guitars. Chris, you're amazing. The Kiss catalog. A bunch of songs spanning from the 50s to today. Wow. You're like Jay Bocott. You're just like a human jukebox. He's quite the wonder, that kid, eh? He knows so much about the history of the writing of the songs and stuff like that. He's quite awesome. You're probably just like him. I can tell. That's how you guys found each other, no doubt. Take my hand, we're gonna run away. Gone far from here, we're gonna go to stay to the land of happiness. Nobody knows where we're gonna go, but it'll be somewhere really cool. Just pack it all jamming and camping. Or get into it. You know what, Chris? You're the same age as my little sister, Maddie. She was born in '89, and my little sister, Lauralee. My sister Maddie's taken over the woolen mill from my stepmom and my now passed father. And so she's like second generation woolen miller. And she's doing all the cool things that you young folks are capable of creating. Nothing like a new perspective on an old thing. For instance, an 1800s woolen mill actually creates really sustainable, viable employment and community and art, around here. And of course, had greed not be flying the ship, in the Industrial Revolution, the Industrial Revolution would have meant sustainability for all. Because my little sister and my parents before her have proven that sustainability, art, and community are possible in an 1800s woolen mill. So that's how it goes. We'll talk about it more when I see you guys on Tuesday. My brand new emotes for all you subscribers. Sorry I didn't have it today, but hello. It's been a time. Thank you all for being here. Bless you all for joining me for Tiny Wild Clover's little wake here tonight. He's gonna happily be waiting for me on the other side. I know he is. Along with Garth Finnegan, who's, funnily enough, whose wake was on my very first ever Twitch stream. And here we have Clover's wake on my very first ever affiliate Twitch stream. Take my hand, we're gonna run away. Going far from here, we're gonna go to stay. Nobody knows where we're gonna go. Just pack it all up and get the show on the road. Gotta get out of this town. Gotta get ready to do a raid. We're gonna go raid some other people somewhere on this Twitch. Thank you guys again. We'll see you on Tuesday. Okay, who are we gonna raid, you guys? Thank you, Nightbot, but I've already followed. You're late. Yeah, Nightbot, we gotta get the time. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about things like that. Timing of Nightbots and things like that. At least I've got them activated. I now know that when things are purple, they're happy. I guess I knew that already. Okay, where are we gonna go raiding? Thank you for coming, Jedi Nightmare. Yes. Chris. Oh, let's go see Kayar. Okay, great. Yeah, we went and saw him not that long ago. We raided him last time. Is that too much raiding, do you think? Or he might go like, Ruthie, what are you trying to do here? Well, I don't know. How does this work? Let's raid whomever you guys think. I don't know. Most of you guys are already following Kayar, right? But that's okay. Shall we? Should I do the command? Let's go here. Oh, I got my song turned off. Let's go to Twitchly. And where are we here? Okay, who is... It's not showing me who is currently active right now. Let's hit the raid button and see what happens. Shall I do it? Oh, you guys have done it. There we go. Okay, go for it, Chris. Awesome. Are we gone? I can't tell. The thing is stopped here on the thingy thing. Da, 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 dee. Oh, no, we're still there. Okay. I'll stay here and try not to fall off my chair. My milk crate. I gotta get my chair back this weekend, too. Doodly-doodly-doo. I didn't see too many crash frames tonight, so that was better. Looking like running straight on Twitch is a little better. We're at least barely doing it. At least, barely. So yay. Yay, barely. Barely's better than not at all. Okay. Hang in there, guys. We will find, Oh, you don't have permission? Shoot. Sorry. How the heck? Okay, let me just hit the raid button here. Let's do that. Let's raid, it's only giving me a few here. Why don't we raid the compliments just because they're here on this list? Is that okay with you guys? Gumby, okay. Okay, sorry, Chris. Maybe we can work that out over the weekend. Gumby and I'll have a look at that, maybe. Okay, let's go raid the compliments. I don't know. I've followed them before. Thank you, Uncle Jugsy. R.I.P. Clover, yeah. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to hit the compliments and see if we can raid them. Start raid. Here we go. Three, two, one. Blast off! That should have worked. I can't tell.